What's going on, YouTubes? Oh, geez, RC's here coming at you from the RC Corner. Oh, geez, RC Corner, that is. Coming at you guys. Episode number 158. How do you know that, guys? Well, because OG's still old. And, yeah, we still got to write stuff down. But anywho, how are you guys doing? If you watched the earlier video, you've seen where we were at. And, that I went through and had to do my thanks and my shout outs to everybody that was supporting the channels in the last videos that were going on about the Nitro B, and we got all that taken care of, it squared away. So now we can get back to the basics of what we got to do, and that's working on and fixing these trucks. So like I said before in the last video, Paintball was the last truck up on deck before we got hit by the little tragedy here in the family. So we're going to take right off where we left off with him and get him tore down, and we are going to completely tear him down. Well, front and rear module, center module, you know, chassis plates off, so we can get to the, you know, the bell cranks and stuff like that. And I'm going to remove the engine but still leave it on the plate, so I don't have to mess with all the mess with the mesh and that kind of stuff. And then we're going to go from there. But this video might be just a quickie of watching me strip him down, tear him apart into a few different pieces, and get him ready to be cleaned up and tightened up and put back together. So that being said, let's get this started. And while we're working on getting this set up, if you guys would do the old G-ster a favor and hit that big thumbs up button for me, if you would, please. Hit that bell notification so you know when OG's here in the corner getting shit done. That's after we break shit. You know how it goes. Gotta break shit, freaking fix shit. And yeah, fixing shit, talking shit, breaking shit, you know. It's just a lot of shit's going on here, guys. But anyway, hit the bell notification if you would, please. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a channel subscriber, and drop a comment down below. And this old man would greatly appreciate it. So let's get this show rolling here. Yeah, still full of all the birthday nasty grass and everything we got from the last time we were out there, because it was rainy and nasty and all kinds of bad stuff going on back then, guys. So Paintball's new body, and the one we got from my brother up there in Canada, Mr. Brent Makitowicz, took a little of a beating, but it's still holding him pretty tight. So he's doing good. Considering we've beat the shit out of him here lately. If you guys haven't seen those videos, they are upcoming, but I don't know when this video is going to drop. And today is still, from the last video, it's still October 29th. It's just 9:15 at night right now, guys. So kind of trying to keep you guys a little more up to date on when this stuff's happening, when these videos are being made. But it doesn't mean you're going to see them anytime soon, because they'll just get dropped when they get dropped. I just try keeping the RC Corner videos in rotation the best that I can. But then again, I kind of have to try to do that, so you guys see me break a truck and you know that it's being fixed. So yeah. Anywho, there's a couple things we got to fix. We got to check on this pipe mount, because I think we broke that again. Get this all back together. That poor cooling head, we've snapped it twice, guys, but I don't think we're going to break any more of it off. We might go back over and check his shocks while we got him all apart with the modules tore down. You know, everything will be wiped clean. That's just rule number one, how that goes. You know OG's law here. If you can see it, if you can touch it, clean it. You know, don't leave it mac nasty. You know, get in there and clean it the best you can. So, well, we got that done. Let's get things tore down and tore apart here. We're going to take all this apart. No. Well, we got to take these off anyways. We got to get to that front module, so might as well just try. Well, let's take everything. Take it all apart, guys. We're just going to take it all apart. We got to take that off anyway. We'll leave that brace there. Those can all stay there. We'll just take the plates out as they go. So, all right. Give me the big boy. And do this. How are you guys doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing good. It is hump day, hump day, hump day. Tomorrow is Thursday for you working class folks. And for the rest of us, no responsibility people. It's just Thursday. But hopefully OG gets his eyes checked tomorrow and get my new glasses ordered, so I'll be able to see it a little bit better. Hopefully that TV's not too loud back there. I got my boy Expel. Expel's a gamer. If you guys ever get a chance, check him out. Corbin's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool young cat. He is pretty cool young cat. Alright, let's get this taken off. Get that off. Get this off. Clean this fuel tank up while we got all that tore down too. Wiped up. Well, we bent paintball chassis a long time ago. Look at that, guys. That sucker is folded up. We might see if we can straighten that out a little bit once we get in there too. So yeah. Do this the easy way. Get the shocks off. Get them up here and get them out of the way so we can get to these brackets. Nice thing about not having 5 pounds of Loctite in there. Hopefully these break loose. Okay, there's those, which is going to enable that motor plate to come off nice and easy. So we can get to the one way. Because, you know, paintball is running so good, we're literally not going to mess with anything else. He's chewed up his spur gear just a little bit. That happened the last time when we had to do that heart transplant, which you guys got to watch. I think you guys got to watch that. I think I posted that. Yeah. Where you guys actually got to see that happen right there in the lot. Where we had to take him apart. And, yeah. So, it was there. It was there. It goes there. All right. What I mean by the modules, guys, is right there. You know, look at that. There's a rear end. See all the grass and nasty stuff in here. And I'm going to try keeping this up off the floor the best I can. Even though actually it'd be easier on the floor, so I just vacuum it up. But there's the rear module. And we're going to tear this thing completely down, wipe it, clean it, and do all that. Because, yeah. We'll try to straighten them up a little bit, guys, the best we can before we, you know, not saying we're not going to, look, we lost a motor mount screw there, too, for the transmission. Because, you know, we're going to run them again this year. Plenty of RC run time left. This is only going to the end of October. You know, shit, we run them year-round, guys. You guys have watched me run them in sub-zero temperatures. It does not matter. It's always nitro time. Always. All right. Did we take that one out? Yeah, we did take that one out, didn't we? So these are all out. So that should pop right out of there. There we go. Oop. And there's that. And the bearings are getting a little sloppy. We got all that backlash going on in there now. But look at that. That sucker will spin for 16 days. I mean, it is turning for a fortnight, guys. But it's wore out. It's tired. Let me turn him down a little bit. Expels. He's getting a little wild back here. He's a little loud. He gets a little loud while he's back there shooting people. But yeah, so we might look into that a little bit. Look into re-shimming that or putting another cog in there or something, because the nut is tight. We got a lot of play in there. I'd like to tighten that back down and stretch the longevity out a little bit longer, because the rest of it's just dirty. I'll spray this with some brake cleaner and we'll scrub it down the best we can, and then work on this one way, because the one way was the only thing that was starting to slip. So we're going to clean that up really good before we go real further. That's at the top. Yeah. That's the top. That's the bottom. That's the top. All right. Top. But there's the click. Top. It's still got some compression left in it, guys, but it's actually getting kind of weak. Yes, it is. It's getting kind of weak. You can turn them over by fingers like that. That means they're getting a little stretchy. So we'll have to look into that. Keep an eye on that. Because I can't remember when we stuck Paintball's engine in there and how many tanks we've ran through him, but I know it has not been that many for him to be stretched out like that. So, no big deal. We can order sleeves and pistons for these things all day long still. It's just really hard to find the motors, which I'm not really worried about that. It's just a forced motor, but if I can get the piston and sleeve for it still, yeah, that's a bonus. So, if it comes down to that, to where we need to repinch it, which I don't know, because as of right now, he's still running really, really good. We'll look into that. But right now, we'll leave him just the way he is. All right. screws, everything. And I know I got magnetic trays everywhere over here, and they're full of all kinds of crap. This right here is full of nuts and bolts and screws that don't even need to be in here. I got this stuff all over me, guys. But yeah, this one's got everything in here that doesn't need to be in here. So we might do something with that here in a minute and dump that into something so I can use this tray. But we'll get into that later on. Back to this. So that's there. That's there. Linkages are still good. Brackets are still good. Now we're going to take this off. These are the easier ones to do. See, that's just because it's in such bad shape. So we'll take this one off. There's one. And swing it over to the other one. Okay. That one's still in there flopping around good, so we haven't lost that. So there's the front end. Motor, engine, motor. We ain't having it quite tonight, guys. Bada bam. Get that up there. Pop that off. I know it's not an OG video if we ain't dropping something, fellas. There he is. Okay, there's that one. Anything else down there? No, I don't see nothing. Okay. Bam. Yeah. Turn him around here. Bam. Put that up there like that. That goes there like that. Okay. And then we should be able to loosen up these side ones. That one. And that one. That one. Sorry if you guys can't see if I keep tilting my head the wrong way, but it's my glasses. Trying to look through the right angles. It's not working too good. What's that? Whoa, big boy. And take this off. So we ain't got to worry about that. Ba-boom. You know, the front end just kind of said hello and decided to leave the chat. There's one of them. So as long as that doesn't go any further, we'll be all right. There's the front module. Okay. Pop these off. Boom, boom. Take your brake arm off. There's that. Take this off, leave this on. We can leave that on there. Because what we got to fix is up in there anyway, because this goes up in here like this. Ba-bam, ba-bam. And our busted piece is up in here. Well, the piece that's not there no more. The screw's gone. The screw is inside the box. At least I hope it is. Yes, it is. You said it was in here. Yep, it's still there. Oh, there's our washer. Can't miss our washer either. So, and like that. That. Bam, bam. Grab handles off. More hardware. Transmission. Looking good, sounding good. Nice and tight and right. A little wore out, not too bad. A little dirty, not too bad. It's actually just fine the way he is. And there's the bent chassis. Look at that, guys. Yeah. We'll straighten Yes, we will. Bam, bam. Let's see here. What can I put him on to make him? Probably not. Not a good idea. There's a washer that goes on a fuel tank. We will straighten him out. We'll get him on something. Put him up here on the hammer or something and get him kinked out a little bit. Just about like that. Almost like that. Not quite like that. Better than what it was. Good as it should be? No. So, that being said, take your tank mounts off. Can't lose that main washer that goes on the fuel tank. Bam, bam. Take this tank mount off since we got to clean this too. Alright, bam, bam. There's our washer that goes on the other post. Now we're nice and flat the way we're supposed to be. So, just like that. Slightly bent, not too awful bad. Like that. It'll all tighten down when we lock it down anyway. Just like that. And he's almost straight. Straight enough. A lot better than what he was, that's for damn sure. So, he's good to go now. This is the one that I had to check on. I thought it was broke. And it is. It sheared it right off. So, that's gone. I don't mind that staying like that though, honestly, because all we got to do is zip tie the exhaust to the chassis, which is what we usually end up doing anyway, in case these things do break, or, you know, so it's like the exhaust isn't flapping around in the air all the time like you guys have seen me do 100 times out there at the lot. So yeah, but anywho, there's one chassis plate, nice and done. Here's the chewed up one that we just beat like it owed us money, which is still better than what it was. I'm not putting a new chassis plate on here just for that. It's not going to interfere with it none. It's not stretched out that far. It'll all line up once it's tightened down anyway. So yeah, that's good. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, chassis plate's done. Hammers can go back. Noise making idles. Let's see where we at here. There's the washer we don't want to lose. Where we at? All right. 18 minutes in. Cool. So time I screw up this dirt up and pop this bell crank apart. Fix that. Everything might be about time for me to stop this video and bring back in part 2 of rebuilding paintball, or tuning up paintball. And if you guys have ever wondered about those heavy duty dog bones that I keep breaking, snapping off, that's why right there. That is one of the heavy duty ball ends. You see how it snaps right off to where the dog bone gets fat, where it goes into the heavier section, so it's not heavy all the way down into the ball. It's only heavy for a certain point, and then it's breaking off at the weak point. So yeah, that's ghetto. That's why I don't like them. That is why I don't like them, and I still have them. I believe I still have them on Doomsday truck, the 3.2. So yeah, we got to keep an eye on that and possibly get that out of there. So okay, there's that. Sorry again if you guys can't see. I apologize. You guys know the movie that comes from. You're a legend. But we looked at this out there and we found our battery and our webby box. Let's see if we can get that sucker to fall out. Right there it is. Cool. Cool beans. Now we're going to pop that off ever so carefully, because we don't want that to go too far, so we can get all this back together the way it's supposed to be. There's our charging plug. There's our battery. And there's our Webby plug right there. Okay. So now, what do we do with it, guys? Okay, here it is. And that one's got our washer on it. Correct? Correct. And the other washer goes on the other end. Right there. Yes. So that goes there like that. That's going to go there like that. All right. Business. So, we got to get this in here. Oops. That goes on there with that washer. And this washer goes down here on this end. Like that. See, it goes in there like that. And that's going to set right there. Then our screw has to go back in there. And so much for keeping all of this squared up so we didn't lose it, guys, right? Alright, now we need our Phillips screwdriver. Here's the fun part, getting this to set down in here. Sorry guys, if you can't see. I keep tilting my head back to look through my bifocals and I know it's taking the camera off. Come on now. Oops, 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 oops. Alright, come on. There's that, there's that. Why aren't you wanting to go up in there, Bubby? Okay, there it goes. Mucho better. Mucho better. Pliers. Okay. Now hopefully it doesn't pop off again, as that's one of them. This is one of them places that you do not like putting Loctite in there. And I know I don't have any kind of padding or cushion in there, but we're going to hopefully fix that problem here in just a second. Because yeah, I think I put all that stuff in here. Thought I did anyway. Yep, right here. Those will work. That's fine. Bada bing, bada boom. And we would do this. And we would do this. Slap that in there like that. And take that one off. And take that one off. And slap this one in this end over here. Okay, like that. There's our charging cord. It's that one. All right. Linkage. Put that down in there and turn that in place. Pop that down on there. Tuck all this over here out of the way. There's our charging cord. Boom. Now all we gotta do is snake our lid back on there. And we should somewhat kind of sort of be in business. If we can get all this to go together properly. And that's got to go in here. Like that. That goes in here like that. Boom. And like Flynn, bell crank's fixed. Webby plug. Yay, you hit my neighbor's dogs? They do it every night. It's a beautiful thing. It is. Because he doesn't make them stop. He thinks it's cool because I sit out there and do that. The glories of living in the ghetto. Come on, man. You want to stay in there. These things want to work, and then they don't want to work, guys. Okay, there's that. There's that. There, boom, done. Okay. Bada bing. So that is fixed. And that was the main thing that we wanted to get accomplished today, was to get that back in there. Then the one way is going to be the next easy one. So bell crank with linkage can go here Look to get it out of the way. Chassis has been somewhat straightened out. You guys can see it. Yeah, see, it looks pretty good now. Looks pretty good now. Oh, she put the hammer on it. Sometimes you just gotta rough them up, guys. Sometimes you just gotta rough them up. Put that over there, that over there. And the next thing we do will be this bad boy right here. So yeah, I mean, it's got plenty of pop as far as that goes. And it's like that. So yeah, we will take our time and try to clean off most of this. Okay. Yeah, how much time do we got? We're at 25 minutes, guys. Couple more minutes. Bear with me. Because we're not going to tear this thing totally down. Like I said, I will not mess with it because he is running really good right now. I'm just tidying him up a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, there's that. There's that. Okay, there's that. Okay. Blech. Dirty paintball. Dirty, dirty, dirty paintball. We're going to take this air filter off and clean this up too, because the inside's nice and new. We're going to put this bad boy right here in the sink. That's what we're going to do with this. Yeah. A little dish soap. Scrub him up. Get the oil and stuff off him. Slap him back on there. He'll be good as new. So now, onto this train wreck right here. No. No. We had her. I ain't it either. We've been working on the other trucks, and we get all of our drivers out of whack because I don't even know where our Traxxas driver is at. These are all 3 mil. Oh, guys. Yeah, look at this. We got plugs over here that don't even need to be here, and blah, 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 blah. That's a 1 mil. Don't need to be here. Yep. Okay. So that's the one we want. 2.5. Or 2 mil, I should say. I don't know where our big one's at. That's kind of depressing too. Okay. Oop. Come here now. What are we doing there? Great. Getting grease all over my shorts. Outstanding. You can see all that nice green slime back there. That's a combination of the fuel and the oil that's doing that. So that's what's no wonder that one way back there is just slipping to all high hell. But we will look at it. We will, of course, knock the dirt out of it to see if it needs replaced or if it just needs cleaned. But you see all that green? Look at that stickiness. Yeah, that's all the fuel and stuff that's been sitting in there for a while to the point where it's hardening up, like you see it turn green when it's in the bottom of a fuel tank. It's doing the same thing. You're not it. You guys are it. Where the hell did it go? Oh, this might be too tight. Probably shouldn't do this. All it was touching it. I'm not even really popping the trigger. Okay. So that's good. Get this shit out of here. That's from working on the E-Dogs. That's how all this stuff got rearranged, guys. I ain't scared to admit it. That's why, look at this, that's why I got plugs and LiPo plugs and everything else up in here. That ain't supposed to be in here. These battery plugs, they ain't supposed to be in here either. Anywho, so we're going to rough the shaft up a little bit while we got it sitting right here. It's 1300 wet dry sandpaper. So that's a 1200. Can't cause no harm back here. Just giving it, just scruffing him up a little bit. That's all we're doing, boys and girls. Just a little bit. Now we got this one way setting here. I think this sucker's shot. It's just my opinion. So the green stuff falling out of it because it was just nasty. Get a Q-tip in here. All right, now I'm gonna look in here and make sure all the ears are still good, which they appear to be. I don't see anything standing out to me going, hello, I need help. So I'm gonna stick him back on there. Keep knocking this green old fuel out of there. That's what's coming out of him right now, boys and girls. See it? If I had any kind of real workshop over here, I'd be hitting this with the air hose right now and really cleaning it out real good. But since we don't have that, do the best we can with what we have. Okay. All right. There he goes. It's biting now. So good. We're going to try him out. We're going to run him. We'll take him out there, of course. We're going to fire him up. We're going to do everything we can do to him. We're not going to worry about that clutch right now. That clutch is doing what it's doing. Because I don't think we have any more shims that we can stick in there anyway if we wanted to. So we're going to have to let that sucker ride. Because that brass one's wore out. So I'm going to have to pick some more of those up in the hardware store anyway, because I have to go pick up this hardware tomorrow when I get back from my glasses appointment for the ramp to get that tuned up. But we're going to run him just the way he is, and we will work on getting him back together tomorrow. But as of right now, the one way is good to go. Let me see here. That one's in there. That one's in there. Not too tight. We're not snapping the ears off. You're not even hearing me crack the torque on it. Just touching them. Just like that. And he's good to go. Get that piston in the bottom there, which is right. There's the top. Damn it. That's got to be close to the top. There's the bottom. There's the top. All right. So we know paintball's set to go. We got the one way fixed on him. Get this stuff put back away. We are what, 35 minutes in? That's a good run, guys. Good run. Good run. So everything's taken care of. We got all this hardware sitting over here. Put the old nasty toothbrushes back away. Been out of the rhythm for a minute, boys. It's going to take a minute to get back into the rhythm of things. You know how it goes. Okay. Put those back up in there. Lock tight. Okay. We're good to go. Now, in the next one coming up, you guys might see me tear these apart and get them cleaned. I might take them and throw them in a bucket. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just leave them the way it is, because this season right here is not over with. It's just getting started, because this is end of October going into November. And like any time in any place, the rest of the United States, this is the rainy time around here when shit's nasty, weather's crap, windy, blowy. So yeah, this is going to keep happening like this. So, you know, it's not impeding on anything important. It's not harming anything. We might leave this just the way it is. That was the main goal, and the chassis and the bell crank and the steering unit up there. So we might just slap him back together. Front end looks really good. Front end looks a lot better than the back end does, of course. And get him slapped back together tomorrow, and he'll be ready to go. Or to drive me nuts enough that I do take this apart and clean him up the right way, and then have one big mess set in here, because he really needs to be soaked and scrubbed. Might save that for a winter project, because his shocks are still tight and right. As I say that one's bone dry. That one's empty as hell. So if anything, we might go over the shocks. We might not. We might slap him back together and run him. Like I said, this is a wintertime project for taking him completely apart and dialing him in, because right now he is running really good, and we don't want to muck with that. So with all that being said, OG's RC's coming at you from the newly named RC Corner. You know, where we get dirty shit done and all kinds of shit done. We got to take that washing too, by the way. Get all that done. But OG's RC's coming at you from the RC Corner. Another tear down and get dirty episode. Episode number 158. I know that because we write it down. Now we can cross that out and put 159 for the next one, and we are good to go. So with that being said, boys and girls, if you enjoyed what you're seeing, watching me waffle around, fumble around, take shit back apart, you know how it is. You guys have been with me long enough, you know. And I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already a channel subscriber, and hit that bell for notifications so you know when OG's in the corner playing with dirty, nasty paintball stuff and everything else. You know, we got other trucks still to go that we have to get up here on the table and get tuned back in to at least get a couple more runs out of them before the white stuff hits. And we put them up and then totally go over and clean them before wintertime gets here. But 37 minutes in, and I'm going to call this a wrap. You guys have been with me this long. Love, respect, and appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate you guys hanging out with the old man in the new RC Corner. And stay tuned. Lots more to come. We got to put this bad boy back together in episode number 159. So stay tuned. And I'm OG, and I appreciate y'all. Catch you soon. Later.